A few days before the weekly meeting, the featured speaker for that week will get an email telling them that they are this featured speaker and the date, and we'll have a link to be able to update the bio and add the presentation. This is the email. The member goes in, clicks on the link, and gets brought to a page where they can input the bio and the presentation. It's recommended that the bio be maximum 200 words. You can prep it in a Word or Google Doc and get it to a good length. Then copy, paste the bio in. Then you can also upload the presentation. Click here, go find your presentation, click, open, and it gets uploaded into the system. Notice that there's a whole variety of different files. PowerPoints can be done, Apple, OpenOffice Docs, PDFs, even image files. There can also be a link to a web URL such as Canva. If you have more than one presentation or a handout or something similar, you can also upload that presentation too. We only have the one for today. We won't demonstrate that. Then when you're ready, click Save, and the document will be uploaded. Wait for that to stop spinning. Eventually, it is uploaded. Then you can see the message telling you that it's set up, that it's being converted and prepared to present on BNI+. It also warns that this can take 10 minutes to complete and that you will receive a notification when it is done. Now we wait. And after a few minutes, you get an email telling you that the file is ready to present. Click on the link to test. Eventually, and I do mean eventually, this can take quite a few minutes, possibly up to 10 minutes to load, depending on the size of your presentation. The presentation loads into a preview mode, and you can either click through the button up top to go through the slides or click on each one individually. You notice the whole presentation is there, but what is missing are the speaker notes. So you would need to keep the speaker notes separate or have your own speaker notes for the presentation. This is how you do the preview. You can go through, test everything, make sure everything is working and looking good. Now be aware, if you're using PowerPoint or anything with a transition, an animation, a graphic that comes in, it just will not work in BNI+, because BNI+ flattens the presentation, eliminates any kind of transition, animation, and so on. Which means when you're putting it together, make sure it isn't there. And if you've built something like that within your presentation itself, then you need to make sure that you remove it and then re-upload the presentation. Once you've tested everything, if necessary, edited your presentation and re-uploaded, then you're ready for the chapter meeting. As the feature presenter on the day of the meeting, you want to make sure you've got everything ready, that you've got that email ready, and that you click on this pretty early to enable this to load, because it will take some time. And eventually it loads, and then you'll be waiting for the president to start the presentation. Something to keep in mind if you only have one monitor is that while this is playing, you will likely not be able to see everybody else in your chapter in gallery view or anything. You'll strictly be talking to your presentation. Just be aware of that. A tip could be to join the meeting on two devices, one that allows you to control the presentation, such as your laptop or phone, and then a second device so that you can see the audience if you like to see the audience when you present. When it's your turn to present, this is what the president sees, not what you see. Just to give you an idea, feature speaker, click, window pops up, the bio is there, and then the president clicks to start the slideshow. If you don't have that email, the president can click to resend that download confirmation to the speaker, and the email gets resent to you. And the president clicks Start Slideshow. You notice this changes to presenting. Control your slides below. This is what you now see, and you get to go through your slides. If, however, you're unwilling or unable to control the slides yourself, the president can. There's back and forward arrows. You can go through and say, next slide. And you'll notice this is what the president sees, this is what you see, and this is also what the audience would see. Next slide. And just go through doing your presentation that way until the end. One last point is that after you upload your presentation, and ideally before the meeting or before the newsletter goes out, you can go back to the section where you inputted your bio. There's a new section, email meeting attendees, a link to my presentation after the meeting. If you click that, then this will go out into your chapter newsletter if you're doing it. If you don't link this or click this, this is also something that the secretary treasurer can do, and make sure that you save when you're done. This way, the members of your chapter and your visitors will get a copy of your presentation.